Welcome back to the F1 Blogs YouTube channel, everybody. We're diving into all the post-race chatter after that wild Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, exactly. The 2025 Australian Grand Prix.
A lot to unpack, so let's get straight to it. You guys sent us some interesting articles, and today we're really zeroing in on McLaren and Mercedes.
Right on.
Specifically what their drivers are saying about where they stand in the pecking order.
Exactly. And, we've got to look at the context, too.
Yeah.
McLaren's off to a really strong start this season.
Absolutely.
That 1-2 finish in Shanghai. And then Lando Norris takes the win in Australia. So they're actually ahead of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship right now.
21 points ahead. So let's start with George Russell's comments. I mean, what he had to say was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He basically said that the current world champions are so far ahead.
He didn't actually say who he was talking about?
He didn't name names.
Yeah.
But given everything that happened last year, I think it's pretty safe to assume he's talking about Red Bull.
Oh, yeah, with how dominant they were in 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Verstappen won 19 out of 22 races.
Exactly. So Russell's saying they're so far ahead that they could just stop developing the 2025 car, like right now, and focus everything on 2026.
Wow.
And he even compared it to Red Bull's performance last year. So, I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because he's basically implying that the gap is so big that no one else can catch up this season.
Yeah.
He's using Red Bull's 2023 dominance to kind of paint a picture of a similar situation.
Right.
Maybe even more dominant this year.
Right. And then you've got Lando Norris's response, which was, well, pretty blunt.
Yeah, he didn't hold back at all.
He basically said, I think he said to The Telegraph that he thought Russell was more intelligent than that.
Ouch.
He just didn't buy it at all.
Yeah, he basically said, how could any team have a bigger advantage than the Red Bull that won every single race last year?
Pretty much.
You can really sense the disbelief in his words.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from McLaren's own success this season. Norris is coming from a totally different place than Russell is right now.
Right.
He's won a race. He's seen his team get a 1-2 finish. So his reality is very different.
Totally. And Norris even suggested that maybe Russell is playing mind games a little bit, or that he's just lost faith in Mercedes' ability to catch up even to McLaren.
Interesting.
Let alone Red Bull.
Yeah.
He also made a point of saying that the difference between the current Mercedes and the 2023 Red Bull is very, very clear.
Yeah, it was a pretty direct dismissal of Russell's whole argument.
Definitely. And what I find really interesting is that Norris's confidence probably reflects what McLaren is seeing internally.
Yeah.
You know, their own development, their own progress compared to Mercedes. Their results definitely contradict Russell's pessimism about the rest of the field.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So now the question is Russell just trying to manage expectations?
Yeah.
Or is this really what the data is showing at Mercedes?
And we can't forget McLaren's incredible start to the season.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean, that 1-2 in Shanghai with Piastri leading Norris and then Norris winning in Australia.
Amazing stuff.
They're 21 points ahead of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. I mean, that's a pretty clear statement about how competitive they are right now.
Yeah, their performance really challenges this idea that Red Bull is just unbeatable this season.
Exactly. So for everyone following the 2025 F1 season, this back and forth between Russell and Norris really highlights the mental game that goes on between these drivers.
Totally.
Russell's comments make it sound like the championship is already over, but Norris is basically saying, hold on, we're not out of this yet.
Right. And it makes you wonder, are these guys just trying to get in each other's heads, or do they really believe what they're saying?
That's the big question, isn't it?
This whole thing really shows how important those off-track narratives are in F1.
Yeah!
It'll be fascinating to see how these perceptions change throughout the season.
Absolutely. So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into those post-Australian Grand Prix comments.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
We hope this has given you a better understanding of what's going on in the world of F1. Don't forget to subscribe to the F1 Blogs YouTube channel for more in-depth analysis all season long.
And hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.